So I hate to be the bearer of bad news every single time something comes out, but if I don't tell you, I don't know who else is going to tell you, to be honest. I have been having such a weird experience on both these iPhones, the 10R and the iPhone 11 on iOS 16. However, I will say it has been getting better and better, and even now it's at a more stable spot than what it was before. But yesterday I did another battery comparison. This is pretty much my final battery comparison on iOS 16. I'll be doing more once the iPhone 14's come out. But what ended up coming out and what I ended up seeing again for the last time, I guess, is that the iPhone 10R and iPhone 11 aren't really doing too well in the battery standpoint when compared to the iPhone 10. Now, the iPhone 10 is very interesting because this iPhone came out, 2 years before the iPhone 11. It has a smaller battery than the iPhone 11, but on top of that, it's older, it has an older chipset, and it also has a more degraded battery than the iPhone 11. This iPhone 10 I have here is at like 80 something percent battery, so this one isn't even at 100% capacity. I think my iPhone 11 is still at like 90 something percent or something. And within that battery test, I saw again, which I saw in every single battery comparison I've done on iOS 16 so far, that I was getting worse battery life on my iPhone 11 than on something like my iPhone 10. Now, like I said, these are 2 years of difference between them. 98%, that's still pretty high. There's 2 years of difference between an iPhone 10 and an iPhone 11. But you're getting a low resolution display, you're getting a bigger battery. Like, this should make sense for it to be outperforming my iPhone 10. But also my iPhone 10R. My iPhone 10R is at a higher battery percentage or battery, health as well. And this is also the same exact case. I'm not getting that, great battery life. It's gotten better though. So from the first couple betas, it was getting worse, and then it started getting better, which was really awesome. But I will say that's the only caveat. The iPhone 10 and iPhone 11, when compared to where they were on beta 1 of iOS 16, they've gotten better. But from pretty much day one, since I own the iPhone 10R, I was getting better battery life on this thing than my iPhone 10. Since day one of owning my iPhone 11 back in 2019 and back in 2018 for the 10R, I was getting better battery life on this iPhone than my iPhone 10. So it's weird now that iOS software has gotten to this point where it's pretty much had this big of an effect on the depreciation of some battery. Like, I don't know the best way to describe it, but it's kind of a bittersweet thing because it's kind of bad for these two iPhones, like the 10 and 11, but it's kind of good for the iPhone 10 that it's outperforming these two kind of budget phones in the battery standpoint. Now, the only thing I can allude this to for the most part is beyond maybe some software issues, possibly the display. Maybe there's, none of them were on dark mode or anything like that. They had the same exact wallpaper and everything. So maybe the OLED display is really doing that much better because I saw my iPhone 10 also outperform in the battery standpoint. My iPhone 8 Plus, my iPhone 8, my iPhone SE2, these two iPhones, as well as my iPhone XS. Now, the XS does have an OLED display, so I'm wondering why that is, going out of the picture. But I will say, even though these ones are kind of in a weird situation with the battery life on iOS 16, I think they've gotten better over time since their beta 1, so there is some improvement. I just kind of wish they were able to contain and maintain their battery from even like last iOS version. I think iOS 15 kind of still had some better battery life here and there, although I did test it and I was seeing better battery life on my iPhone 10 or from iOS 15. But it's weird that other iPhones surrounding it that used to be better are now doing worse. That used to be, worse in battery are now doing better in battery than these two phones. So that kind of covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.